Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel.
I got you all in check. It's the 187
You are so
of disrespect.
you are so silly. I have moved this row of hydroponic systems a foot over. I threatened to spank my son if he didn't come over and put my bed up. And he is putting together my full-size bed. You told him game size? I'll eliminate all of that. We wasted one of the mason jars prior to him coming, so that sheet right there is what's absorbing that water. But he is putting this bed together. You can see all the cords behind there, and we're gonna move it over about a foot, and yeah, that'll be fine. I'm gonna do a voiceover on this whole. Thing. Over there. I told you guys in my last video that I was going to rearrange my bedroom a little bit so I can have more room to get around in here. I'm just going to show you a little bit of it. Right here, this was a queen size bed. I bought a full size so that I can have more room to go down the aisle when I'm caring for my hydroponic systems, so I can easily get through here. I can have more room down the aisle here, and that's going to be my sewing station eventually. Now, I really need to get over here and share with you that I added more lights, because I had that seed giveaway contest for whoever could guess what I was going to grow in these dollar store containers that I put socks and tape over in a net cup. And as you can see here, the answer is San Marzano tomatoes. And there's one over here and one over here, and there were two people that guessed larger tomatoes. You didn't have to have the variety, but you accurately said it was a larger tomato. Okay, and here I just want to share with you that I was able to get the Super Sue tomatoes that I started from seeds on the 8th of February. I got 2 of them to germinate, and they're growing very well in my $4 cracky hydroponic that I made myself. Okay, so I added more lights so that these can grow very well. I also put more lights on the systems, the wired shelving hydroponic system. I'll show you those next. 2 row lights here that will reflect down on my mason jar cracky hydroponic systems, and they're growing very well. And this is why I told you guys that I won't grow the black-seeded Simpson loose leaf lettuce anymore, because it gets too straggly, and I like the way the Tom Thumb lettuce grows better. It doesn't take up a lot of space. And up here, I'm experimenting. I have Bloomsdale spinach here, a small dwarf tomato here, some kale here. I'm trying to do a orange jalapeno pepper here, another dwarf tomato, kale, and yeah, they're doing really good. More lettuce over here. I just got some of I planted these on the 21st. These are sales leaf lettuce. 2 of them germinated, and I think I got one over there that germinated as well. And here I have my hydrogen peroxide when I need to clean up something or sanitize something. And here's a little diluted fertilizer that I use to squeeze a little bit into these mason jars. My tomatoes are doing very well in the Aero Garden systems. I only put 2 into each of these systems. I'll show you the other ones in a second, but I'm starting the Tiny Tims here and here, and you can see if I go in close that they are now beginning to ripen. And I was telling my granddaughter Bria this morning that we're going to try to do everything we can to refrain from eating them so that you can see the vast amount of tomatoes that each plant produces. Okay? Over in this garden cube system, I have more lettuce germinating as well as 3 tomato plants growing. Then I'm gonna jump down to here and show you that I have more mason jars down here with leaf lettuce growing and a dwarf tomato plant. I need to back up and share something with you. When I was sharing this tomato in this quart jar, I failed to tell you that I am growing 2 dwarf tomatoes in this one jar. Just going to see if I can do it. Since they are very small, I'll let you know what happens. And over in this one, I have more dwarf tomatoes growing. I have so much stuff growing, guys, that I ran out of spacers to cover up the holes. So I had to improvise, and I came up with some aluminum foil. That's just to make sure that I don't get any fungus gnats into my systems. This is another, I'm moving down the line. This is another arrow garden with beautiful tomato plants. These are the red robin tomato plants. They're doing really, really well. I want to share with you that I put some lights. I told you I have a lot of lights outside in my garden benches to bring more light down in this area here. I put more lights across, all the way across this shelving unit, so I can just fill these up with mason jars as I start removing some of the seedlings out of the hydroponic systems, because I can't stress enough that you cannot overcrowd these systems. For example, there are only 2 tomato plants in this system that can contain 8. Is it 8? 2, 4, 6. It can contain 6 plants, but I can only grow 2. You can see how far this one is extending all the way over here. That's why I raised the light, because even though I have them secured with stakes, it's really hard to keep them contained. I guess I could put another stake and try to swivel it a little bit along here, but right now it's growing freely. I'm just gonna let it do what it does because I have this light right here. So yeah, I have just showed you a lot of the 1 quart mason jars, but let me just share with you that I have basil, and I've already harvested basil from here. You can see where I topped it off. It grows extremely fast. You have to constantly keep topping it off with water or they will get limp and wimpy, and you need to add more water. Here's the tomato plant, another one experimenting. This is a red robin, and you need to keep a lot of water in it. You need to have a space between the net cup and the water so that it can produce oxygen for the plant, but it's doing very well. And I'm so glad that I got these other lights that I wasn't using and put them on the shelf. I'm gonna try to look down so that you can see the light right there, all the way across here. I probably will end up going out to the backyard and getting some more lights to run all the way across here as I add more mason jars to my growing. These are half a gallon mason jars. I have 6 of them, so the half a gallons can accommodate a larger plant. I really didn't need to put this Tom Thumb lettuce in it, but I did. I noticed that the Tom Thumb lettuce dwarf lettuce doesn't need a lot of water, so you don't have to refill it. It would have been better if I put it here. I'll probably switch these 2 out. So I'm just going to remove this net cup and this net cup and switch them.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then I'm going to fill this up just a little bit higher because the roots haven't come all the way down yet. They're coming out now. Yeah, there we go. And so I'm going to just add just a little bit more water up to this first line of the net cup, and we'll be done. So I'm not going to add any fertilizer. I'm just going to add just a little water. This is distilled water. Yeah. Now you can see the roots are coming down.
Mama, that looks much better.
Okay, so you see we put the half a gallon in the back because it's the tallest one. And then we put the lettuce in front, and they both can get the light that's coming in. Okay? Here are 2 alpha beta cucumbers, and they are in a half a gallon. I'm experimenting with this orange jalapeno pepper plant in a half a gallon, as well as another dwarf tomato. Okay. This is my ponytail plant. You can see I have it getting a lot of light from these two grow lights here because it needs a lot of light. However, it only needs a little water. So I only water it once a month. I pick it up from out of this pot and I water it from the bottom. Okay? Now, this morning, I realized something was happening to this plant. Here's my Pellegrino waters, one of the habits that's not unhealthy that I have. I love the taste of this water. But I noticed that, let me see if I can put this down right here and show you. This pup was barely hanging on to here and it had already calloused over. So I put it in this bottle. I thought it'll be perfect where I can watch the bottom of it barely touch the water surface, and I'm gonna put it under here under the light where I can watch it real good. And I googled this, guys, because I've never done it before. I'm going to see if I can root this. You can see it's just barely in the water, but raise it up just a little bit more. And once I get some strong roots, then I'll go ahead on and put it in a pot. So wish me good luck. And by the way, I want to share this with you. There were only 2 branches on this plant sticking out. As you can see now, there's another one growing here. There was only this one and this one. And so the one that fell off is a new pup. This is another one right here. And maybe one of these. I'm not really sure. But I do know there were only like 2 branches sticking out, and now I have about 4 of them. So I'm gonna give it a haircut, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Come in closer here, Brian, so you can see the new growth here. You see these little twigs here, growing up here. These are little pups that are coming out of there. This is where they bonsai'd it before I bought it. This is right here, come closer. This is the one that fell off right there. And so it only had 2 branches. So now I have 1, 2, I'm filling them, 3, 4, 5. So it multiplied, okay? And you can see this is a new one here, coming in here. Okay, so I'm gonna hold the plant down. I want you to get the top of the plant to all the way and come in closer to where I'm cutting it here. I'm just doing it at a 45-degree angle. If this plant was to sit outside, I would, and if it was getting watered, I wouldn't want this wound to be open straight across. So that's why I cut it on a little angle. When I first got this plant, Brian, do you remember how short the hair was? It was all the way up to here. Do you remember that? And it has grown down past the container. So I'm just putting them all together. My shears were sanitized. And I'm just going to cut at a little angle right there so we can kind of monitor how it's growing, because it's getting a little bit too hairy. You still getting all of that? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to come over here. And it seems to be comfortable where I have it, so I'm going to put it back up under the light. Okay, young man, that's it. So there she sits, and I gave her little baby a haircut too. Here is my Heartleaf Philodendron. You can see that it's growing very well. The vines have extended real long. So what I did yesterday, I cut some of it off, and let me show you what I'm doing with the parts. They are right here. So I took a rubber band and I tied them together, and I'm inserting them in this water. And after they take root, I'll have another plant. I'll keep you guys informed as to how the roots grow. Now let me show you some other cuttings that I'm propagating. A few months ago, I took cuttings from another plant, and as you can see here, they have rooted very well. I also took a cutting from another plant. And you can see that they're beginning to form roots in this water.
Hey guys, it's Brian here, and my grandmother wanted me to show you this Jacky power station here. It will help us if the power ever goes out during the summertime when it's hot. This power station could plug in a fan, it could charge our phones, and if this Jacky power station ever goes out, we could go to the car and plug it in and it'll charge it up.
Okay, so what if it's wintertime and it's cold outside and it's cold in here? What do you have right there?
We have a heater right here that will heat up the room and make us feel warm.
Okay, now, so where is the cord that goes to the car? Did you mention that?
Yeah.
If it goes out?
Yes.
You didn't show the cord.
Okay.
And what else can we do if we need to have emergency charge on here? What else can we buy to do that? Remember I mentioned a solar panel?
Yeah, you use a solar panel.
Yeah, put it out there in the sun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you did real good. Thank you. I got another question for you. What can that, let me phrase it this way. Can that little heater heat up a 2-story house?
No.
What can it heat up?
It can only heat up this room.
This room, just a average bedroom. Okay, that's a really good point, Brian. Thank you for asking me to make sure I put that question in here. I'm going to end this weekly vlog by showing you how far I've gotten on the blanket that I'm crocheting for my bedroom. I'm really enjoying it. It's, I don't know, it's soothing. I watch my plants grow and I crochet. And this yarn is only $1.25. I picked it up from the Dollar Tree. And yeah, I have a lot of more colors that I'm going to be adding to it. But it's a lot of fun. And I'm teaching Bria how to crochet at the same time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and share this video with your friends. I would certainly appreciate it. Take care, everybody. Bye now.